Good Monday afternoon for another edition of Catoosa Connects. I'm Amy Jackson, president of the Catoosa County Chamber of Commerce, and it is the week of Christmas. Can you believe it?
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's here.
Sure
We're so close, right? Today I have with me Suzanne Chavanek from North Georgia Healthcare. And Suzanne, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that. So, and I think we talked about this earlier in the month, but our nonprofit of the month is North Georgia Healthcare, and so Suzanne has agreed to come on and tell us a little bit more about the services of North Georgia Healthcare, like where the location is, who your clients are, the patients that you serve, and things like that. We're just really interested. I know a lot of people, quite frankly, have wondered what's in that blue roof building behind the food line. I mean, and there's a lot more in there than you know, and Suzanne's going to tell us a little bit about that. So you've been with North Georgia Healthcare now how long, Suzanne?
Well, I have been there at a year, but I have been working with the CEO, Delane Hunter, for over 12 years, almost since she's been open, when I was in a different role, where she helped me with some of our underserved youth that we worked with. So I'm very familiar with North Georgia Healthcare Center and the work that's done there. So we're located behind the food line in Ringgold. We are, as Amy said, we're the Blue 10 building, just right past where you turn in to go to food line in Ringgold. And there is a lot more in that building than it looks like. We are basically, what we are at North Georgia Healthcare Center is that we are primary care. So we have 3 providers there. We have 2 nurse practitioners and an MD that provide services to our patients. So if you're just looking for a place to have just a primary care doctor, that kind of helps you coordinate your health and can help you get into specialists. If you have anything that comes up that's not treatable in a primary care setting, then we have a lot of partners we refer out to for
people from there. Yes. It's funny you should talk about that. I have a friend who, unfortunately, she had a wreck last week, and so she goes to North Georgia Healthcare and has been going there for a while. And she went yesterday, and she told the practitioner that she needed a primary care doctor, and she said, well, I am your primary care doctor. So I think some of us don't understand what that role can be, and that y'all actually can provide that service there.
And a lot of people get us confused with like a health department, because we are a federally qualified healthcare center. Which just actually what that means is that our area is deemed as having a population of individuals that are underserved medically with medical resources. So we do receive some federal funding to help us to be able to serve individuals who don't qualify for insurance, or just can't afford the premiums, the co-pays and things like that we have funds that we can offset some of those costs.
So is that what the sliding scale is? I've heard that term before.
Sliding scale is that we have a fee schedule based on your income. You fill out just a very simple form to show your household numbers and your annual income in that household, and from there, based upon the federal guidelines, then that percentage slides according to, you'll pay according to how much your income is versus in the size of your household.
But if I have insurance, I can come there as well?
Yes, we take all forms of insurance. We take all of private insurance and Medicaid and Medicare. And all your Medicare Advantage plans. So there's really not been any insurance we don't take. And another thing a lot of people don't recognize is back a couple years ago when there was issues with the Veterans Affairs, and a lot of people veterans not having access to health care, but having to drive distances.
Right, to go to a certain facility.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. And so since we're not close to one in North Georgia, we were able to apply, and now we take VA insurance. And there's a process that we go through for that, but veterans can come there, and we take their VA insurance and can provide services and help them navigate the VA to get into specialists and things like that. So we can kind of be an advocate for them.
That's awesome.
To help them.
I didn't know that. I learned something new. Yeah. And now, like, if you have somebody that wanted to go there, do you do walk-ins? Do you need an appointment? What's the best way?
We do all of that. So, of course, we prefer appointments. That makes sure that you don't have to wait, and know that we have time to make sure we give you the quality time. But we do take walk-ins, same day walk-ins, so you can be seen. You may have to wait a little bit if we're busy, if the providers are busy, but we definitely will take anyone that walks in.
What about business hours? Are y'all?
Our business hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Wow. So we're open a little bit earlier than normal business and stay a little bit later for those.
All right, so if you get off at 5, you could still make an appointment there after hours, after normal business hours. So that's really good to know. Now, when we say that there are other things in the building, am I right? You do have a pharmacy?
We do have a pharmacy. So our pharmacy is a retail pharmacy,
Okay.
and so you do not have to be a patient in North Georgia Healthcare Center to actually get your medications filled there.
Is there a drive-through?
There is a drive-through, so you just kind of go back behind the building. When you pull in, you just go back behind the building. There's a drive-through.
Kind of circle around. And
just circles right around, and you can get your prescriptions filled there. If you are a patient of ours, and you are underinsured with your medications, or you don't have a plan that would pay for a very expensive type of medication, and you're a patient of ours, we are also a 340B pharmacy, drug pharmacy.
What does that mean?
So what that is special pricing that we have qualified and certified for. So just for a personal example for me is that my husband had been prescribed a medication, found he had a heart condition, and it was going to cost us like $500 a month for this particular medicine. Sure. And so I had him price it out if he became a patient, because currently he's not a patient there. We have had our doctor for 18 years, sure. So we just haven't changed. And so they said it ended up being $33 for that,
wow.
that med. So I don't think people realize that there are a lot of advantages.
So there's some opportunities to
there's opportunities.
So get your medicine conveniently and for good pricing
and
as
if
well.
you don't have prescription, if you have no insurance, we're going to work with you on a sliding scale for those costs of those meds as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll make them affordable, and then some of those drugs that can be qualify for 340B. Not all meds will save you that kind of money. Okay, so I don't want to put that out there that all meds save you that kind of money. It's certain brand names of drugs that are expensive, and of course we're like Walmart or Walgreens. We have those $2 and $4 and $10
like the generics or
drugs
whatever.
For generic common maintenance drugs that people take. So you can get that there as well. And our pharmacist has been with us, I think, about 4 or 5 years, and so it's really cool if you are a patient of ours to have that contact with the pharmacist, because they can coordinate your care there and make sure that before you leave, you can just pick up your meds, so you don't have to go somewhere and have to wait in line or get out of your car. You can just
what a convenient thing.
Drive around the back.
Right. What a convenient thing. And the other thing that's inside that building, that the building just blows me away. I'm like, is it that big? But they have a pool in there, and I know I'm on the YMCA, North Georgia YMCA board. And am I right that that's the pool that they use to teach swim lessons in that pool?
Yes. The pool was put in, and you don't even know how big the building is until you walk in it. It's like it goes on forever. But we do have
depth of it.
Yes, we have a full-size pool in the back. It was originally installed because at one point we did offer physical therapy services.
I gotcha.
And so that was the reason that we had the pool. And then when we discontinued those services for various reasons, of course, the Y in our community is the Y without walls, really. And so we had a pool. So the CEO decided, let's just partner together. So the Y is the only people that utilize the pool for all those swim lessons. I don't know if it's silver sneakers anymore, but they do water aerobics in the mornings and in the evenings, and their swim lessons throughout the year.
Which is a great thing. I just love, how y'all are, a community partner, and like you said, working together, different nonprofits to provide services. Honestly, again, the why, we don't have a facility at this point. So, and they've been doing that for years. And so that's such a great addition to our Catoosa County community to be able to offer the swimming lessons and the water aerobics in our county that people don't have to go all the way to Hamilton Place or whatever. So I think that's pretty amazing. So anything else that I know we talked about, so the Chamber has a program, and I think I've mentioned it before, called Leadership Catoosa. And y'all have one of their employees is actually going through Leadership Catoosa, and I've just learned recently kind of what she does at North Georgia Healthcare, and it's really amazing. So you want to talk a little bit about that job?
Okay, so position? It's actually is what it's referred to as an insurance navigator.
Okay,
and so our staff person, Miyazi, she actually is licensed and to be able to sell health insurance.
Okay,
and so basically, she receives training and support through our state office here in Georgia, but she's able to search the marketplace for what types of health insurance she may be eligible for, to see, and then she also configure your credits, if there's credits out there, and how you can offset those credits to offset the cost of your insurance. She can also look on there, and she can help you sign up for your Medicare. You're eligible for that. So she can help you kind of navigate that and look at those out those supplement and advantage plans to
Right.
kind of help you see what
Because that can be
options
so
are.
overwhelming.
Yes,
It's just
very.
a lot to, and the fact that they offer an employee that can help you figure out what might be best for you. That's amazing.
And she also can help individuals sign up for food stamps or TANF if there's a need for that.
What about WIC and things like that?
WIC, yes. Any of those types of things that you might could go to the health department for, she has the ability to be able to sign on and help put that application in, help people navigate that. Because if you've never done that before, that is so complicated.
Sure.
So she just, you can make appointments or drop by the healthcare center, and you may even see her out in the community.
She's so super sweet too. Miyazi is amazing.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed getting to know her through the Leadership Catoosa program. So yeah, just a lot of things under the blue roof behind Food Line that you just never knew about. And I've learned, through the years working with that. And, of course, North Georgia Healthcare has been a long-term chamber member, longer than I've even been there. Delane Hunter serves on our chamber board of directors. I think it's in 3 years she'll actually be the chairman of the board. So I'm looking forward to that. And then some of you may have heard about in the press about y'all also have another company coming along
Right.
in Walker County.
Right.
That will serve Catoosa County, right?
Yes, it will. So a lot of people may have heard of Healthy Foundations. It is going to be located in Walker County. We have right at 400 acres in Walker County that will be working to add services to support the community, and it's kind of a new concept coming around, integrated healthcare services, where it's looking at individual not just from their physical health but their mental health, social health, just to be able to have a little bit to offer individuals to really truly do those wraparound services that are all involved, are all located in one place.
Right. And that's so key.
Yes, it is.
I visited a couple of places that, just to be able to, kind of what you were talking about that y'all do at North Georgia Healthcare, where you do multiple things in one building, but to a bigger,
Right.
Healthy Foundations is a much larger campus in Walker County. But again, that'll do, Chattooga, Walker, Dade, and Catoosa counties.
Region, yes.
So, if you've heard a little bit about Healthy Foundations, that's something you can, or if you haven't, you can look that up. There's a lot of information. You'll have a website, I know.
Our website is healthyfoundations.org.
Okay, so we just appreciate all that you do and all that Delane Hunter and her staff does there at North Georgia Healthcare Center, and we're happy to have y'all as our nonprofit of the month
We're excited
for December, and just to be able to highlight a little bit about what goes on there, of the many, many things that y'all do for our community. So I tell you what, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back and tell you a few more things going on. We're back on Catoosa Connects on this last week, actually the second to the last week, the week before Christmas in December. And we just appreciate Suzanne Shavanik being here with me with North Georgia Healthcare, who's our nonprofit of the month. As we talk about, each week we talk a little bit about our different of the months, if you will. And our restaurant of the month this week is Pam's Place this month. Actually, we had an event the Chamber did last Wednesday at the Ringgold Depot. And first of all, if y'all have never been to an event at the Ringgold Depot, you need to go. Isn't it so quaint?
It is so pretty. Actually, my daughter, that's where she got married.
She got married. Oh, and y'all, I remember seeing the pictures.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I always talk about that.
It's just so.
And you're probably guaranteed to have a train actually come through your event at some point in time.
We did, right at the moment of her vows.
Oh, no,
yeah, we had to
really?
pause for the train.
Oh, how funny.
But it was just a cool experience, and it's so pretty inside.
Yes, it is just gorgeous. And quite frankly, City of Ringgold rents the Ringgold Depot. And if you'll check out on the City of Ringgold, I think it's .gov website, the calendar and the rates. And the rates are really inexpensive, especially if you can do an event Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use the word cheap. It's such a good deal, and just for the place that it's so historic, and of course there's restrooms, and they'll help you set up the tables and chairs. That's included, I think, in your pricing. So anyway, all that to say, we had an event last Wednesday called the Shop Local Breakfast. And Pam's Place did the catering, and we had breakfast, plenty of bacon, and we had eggs, and it was just so good. But biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, so don't forget the biscuits and gravy.
It was so good, and everybody loved it. And Tara did a great job. So if you remember the old Richard's Restaurant there on Lafayette Street, it's now called Pam's Place, and two sisters, I think Pam is actually the mom, but two sisters run that, and Tara she's the sister that does the catering side. Right. And they're just a pleasure to work with, and I think they're doing some meals too this week. You can pre-order like for Christmas meals and things like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, just look up on Facebook Pam's Place and get the phone number. But they did the catering, and it was so good. So they are our restaurant of the month, and we were happy to highlight them. I'll be honest, we had so much food, breakfast food, we were able to feed the fire station right behind the Ringgold Depot. We were able to take them, it was a whole pan of bacon. And so they got like 3 or 4 pans of food. They did not turn it down. I will just say they were pretty happy about that. So they just are great to work with. I've used them at least twice now in 2 different events, and they've just always, they'll deliver the food. Now they don't do the whole. They can, but I know for our events we served it. They didn't stay and serve it. They just delivered it and dropped it off, and then came back and picked up the warmers later. Yeah. And but they just do a great job. So if that's something that you have a need, maybe an event coming up, think of Pam's Place and keep it local there in Ringgold.
And y'all say, North Georgia Healthcare Center, we used her for our Thanksgiving, and it was awesome. And then ordered some desserts for our Christmas last week, and you got to have the banana pudding and the peach cobbler.
And the strawberry cake is a good one too. That's a fave. So we had an event with the ambassadors. We had ambassador appreciation, and somebody had requested the strawberry cake, and so they were right. It was a good choice because I had the banana pudding the last event. So I guess we've used her for 3 events now. And so banana pudding and strawberry cake. And what was your other one? Peach cobbler. So lots of dessert choices. So maybe you're making your Christmas dinner, but you need a nice dessert to go with it. You can just order that and go by and pick it up. So, and not to mention they're open. I know Monday through Friday. I believe they serve breakfast and lunch. One of my favorites is their chicken salad. Also, chicken salad on croissant. Yes. It's a good thing too. So now I'm making myself hungry. Is it dinner time yet? So we talked about of the months. Our member of the week is the Family Crisis Center. So if you check out the Chamber Facebook page, or if you're a Chamber member of the Chamber newsletter, you'll see a picture from the Family Crisis Center, and they are a domestic violence shelter. They also, the cottage part of that organization is a foster facility for teens, and they just do such a great job of taking people that just need a little help. Yes. And so we just appreciate the Family Crisis Center. If that's something that you have a need, there are published numbers for domestic violence, and so if you know someone that has a need of help, that we have in Catoosa County a great facility that provides services to Catoosa County. So again, we just appreciate the Family Crisis Center for being our member of the week. I don't know if you got the email today, but we sent it out earlier today. Our annual awards are coming up for the Chamber. And this is something we get excited about every year, just a time to highlight not only businesses, but individuals.
Right.
So you'll be able to see that. Chamber members got an email today, and that should be, hopefully by the end of the week, it'll be on our news on the website. So we're taking nominations for Business of the Week. You don't even have to know what size they are. So once businesses are nominated, then we send them a questionnaire, and when they fill that out based on the number of employees they tell us they have, then they get put in. There's micro, small, medium, and large Business of the Year. So you don't have to know all that information. We just are looking for nominations. The one that I love that's open to anybody, you don't have to be a chamber member, is the Citizen of the Year.
Yes.
So it's always fun to see people acknowledging, whether you win or not, just to be acknowledged of the things that people do in our community, that most of them, 99%, don't do for any kind of accolade. They just do it because that's who they are. And so that's a fun one to award every year. So so we have Business of the Year, we have New Business of the Year, and that is, again, a chamber member business that's only been in business less than 2 years, 1 to 2 years. And that's always a good one too, because they always say if you can make it in business your first 2 years, then you're probably good to go. And so it's fun to acknowledge the work that it takes to start a new business and to be successful. And we always look forward to that one. And then we have our Nonprofit of the Year, and that's always a good one to see who will be nominated. We have Citizen of the Year, and then we have Hall of Fame. And that's usually someone that's kind of, maybe they've done over and above what their normal job, if you will, is. And so just look forward to those annual award nominations and that process of quite frankly, I learn a lot. I learn a lot about what people really do in their business, in their personal lives, or a lot of times what organizations are available and the services they provide in our community. So it's a great thing. And then the chamber will have our annual awards. We have our gala, and this year we're bringing back the casino night.
Right.
Yes, so dadgum COVID didn't let us do that. We actually got it in 2020, right before COVID, the shutdown. And then in 2021, because of all the state regulations that the Colonnade had, we weren't able to do that. We had the gala, but we just couldn't do the casino night where people were hovering over each other. Even with the mask, that wasn't allowed. So we're looking forward to having that again, and I think will be excited to be back. And I'll just tell you, it's fake money. It's just play money that we play with, and you try to win door prizes. We have some really nice door prize baskets and things like that. So, but at the gala, which will be March the 12th, that's a Saturday, it'll be at the Colonnade, and information will be coming out about that in the next few weeks by the first of the year. So right after the first, we'll get that information posted and out. But we'll actually give those annual awards out at the gala. So that's our fun kind of dress-up night for the community, and then we're able to acknowledge some of the things that people do that they, again, don't do for any kind of accolade or pat on the back, but it's nice to be able to do that. Yes. Yeah, it sure is. It's fun. Our tourism partner of the month for December is the 6th Cavalry Museum. And if you haven't been down there, have you seen lately? I know you used to be at Communities and Schools right beside there, but they have got a new mural on the front. They got a grant, and it's beautiful. The mural is on front. So if you are headed down toward the battlefield and make a right, Barnhart Circle is back there, and you'll kind of go right, kind of bumps into one building, go left, and you'll see it. But that's the 6th Cavalry Museum, and the front of it looks really good. And someone has come in even and built like a little, I don't know, you wouldn't call it a porch, but like some decking out front too. And so they had a volunteer that did that, donated their time and I think all the supplies as well. So, but they're our tourism partner of the month. I will say, I think that they may be closed until the beginning of the year, just for the holidays this week and next week. But that's a good one, maybe while your child is on Christmas break. Might be a good time when they open up in January before school starts back. I think the teachers have today and tomorrow maybe, and then they're on Christmas break.
Go tomorrow. I don't know if teachers stay or not.
I think they're having some exams and things like that. I'm like, bless their hearts. I wouldn't want to be the teacher the week of Christmas trying to give an exam, right? Yeah. So, but we really appreciate that. Suzanne, what are some other things? I know you said you've been shopping recently. So after the Shop Local Breakfast, and this was the point of the Shop Local Breakfast, Suzanne did the right thing.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've lived here my whole life, and I've visited occasionally over all the years. But after the chamber breakfast, I decided I'm just going to stroll down through there. And my husband probably is not happy that I discovered a few little shops in there. The Fern and Feather, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Bought a few things in there. Probably didn't need, but I just had to have.
And I was telling her, my favorite thing there is the packaging. She has some really good local things and Ringgold and Georgia things, but she makes you look so smart, with her packaging and raffia and tissue paper.
She's so quick with it. I had to get a Christmas ornament for a Christmas ornament swap thing.
Okay.
And so I didn't have it. It was the next day. So I thought, well, that'd be a good thing to do. And I found this most beautiful little baby, Jesus in a manger, little globe ornament.
Yeah.
And so when I got up there, I didn't realize that she did the packaging. And so she's like, would you like me to put that in a bag and wrap it real pretty? I'm like, oh, yes.
Yes,
so
please.
I was like done with that.
Yes.
So
and there's no extra charge for that. No. That's just part of what you pay. So I love that. Yeah.
So that was great. And we, of course, the Dwelling has become one of my favorite stores. They were at the Chamber Expo that you had the 1st of December.
They got the best booth award.
I saw that. Yeah. So after that, I visited twice already. So just some really nice gifts in there, and just real friendly and local people.
Right.
That's what's really nice about it. And just supporting those.
One of my favorite gifts, and I just had someone move from Chattanooga to Catoosa County because that's all I talk about, right? Is Catoosa County. So they finally had enough of it and moved on down. But in Fern and a Feather they have the Ringgold pillows, and I think some of the other shops may have them too. But she, will either say the zip code 30736 or I love Ringgold or something like that. And that is my favorite gift to give someone that's moved into our community. They have them for Fort Oglethorpe as well, and I think even Chickamauga. I've seen some of the different ones. So, but that's one of my favorite gifts to give, especially somebody that's moved into our community. I think that's just a really cool thing to have.
And I've been using it because my sister-in-law, she lives in California.
Okay.
So we've been trying to coax her out. Every time she comes out here, she's like, I think I want to be a Georgia girl. Ooh. And so I'm always looking for Georgia things, Ringgold things to send her, and she's going to be with us this Christmas, so I picked her up a few things too.
Absolutely.
To promote us around
here. She needs to come. Well, and I will tell you, my sister, she may or may not be watching, but my sister just moved to Catoosa County in late May, early June, my sister and brother-in-law, and I never thought that would happen. We grew up in Chattanooga, and my brother-in-law was in the Air Force, and so they've been gone, 35 years or so. And all of a sudden they started looking, and we, of course, with the chamber, I hooked them up with a good realtor, and and they bought a house, and we live like 5 miles away from each other.
Oh, that's
so there is hope, I can say. And she's I will just say I'm not a cook. She is a cook. Let's put that. It's not that she's better. She is a cook, but she's a great cook. And so that's been fun. Our Thanksgiving this year was really fun. That was the first time, and I don't even know how long that we were at the same place at Thanksgiving. And we're looking forward to doing the same thing at Christmas. So, nothing like having family around in the holidays, and so you enjoy that with yours. So I will mention too another place that I like to shop. And gift cards count, y'all. If you don't have time and you can't make a choice, you just don't know their size or whatever, gift cards are great. That also helps our local retailers as well. So this one is from Fix, P-H-I-X. If you've not been in there, it's right off of Battlefield Parkway and 3 Notch Road, kind of behind Prey Chiropractic there. And first of all, you just need to go and check out the building. They took an older home, and gutted it. And it just is amazing. And go to the bathroom and see. I shouldn't tell them that, but you see part of the brick wall in the bathroom. And it's just so cool how they've done everything. And it's so it's as much of a destination to see the inside as it is. Plus, they have a good photo op on the outside of Fix. They've got that truck.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're looking for kind of a neat place to take some pictures, it's really cool there. But they also have, and I was telling Suzanne this, they have. Spa, and they offer hair, and I think they do nails, as well as they have I think they've got shoes and clothing, definitely boutique clothing, jewelry, just anything you can think of. Maybe some handbags. They can put your whole outfit together for sure. And so I just enjoy FIC so much. I love the fact that they've been in business for years, but they brought that business back into Georgia. So they were in Tennessee, like kind of in the East Brainerd area.
Okay.
And so when they built out that building behind Prairie Chiropractic, they brought it to Catoosa County. So I love that so much that we have another boutique shop. So I guess what I'm saying is shop local. As I told the restaurant the other day, or the group at the breakfast the other morning, I said shop local and spend big, right?
That's right.
So I mean, you're going to buy it somewhere. So kind of what I do, and it's funny because I've been with the chamber about 5.5 years now, and I go to church in Chattanooga, I'll say. So the only time I go to Chattanooga now, I go to church, and then I might run a few errands afterwards. But I guess what I really would like to ask everybody to kind of make a decision and just to think local first. Because we know you can't find everything in Catoosa County. I think you can find most things. But, before you hit the order on Amazon, just think, is there a local business? Because it does make a difference.
It does.
And so, and I love that when people were talking, especially during COVID, of, these are the people, the shop owners are the people you go and ask for donations for the band and the ball team and the cheer group and all that. So when we have an opportunity to support them, let's just try to do that. So did you see the thing on Facebook the other day that the group of business people showed up? I think it was at Farm to Fork. And the girl ended up with, I think, the server, I want to say it was a $1,200 tip.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it was like I have to go back and look at the details, but it was like a $280-something bill. But they all came with it, and that was the whole thing. They'd communicated to be at that place at a certain time. I don't think they even knew who the server would be.
Oh, okay.
Just they wanted to bless somebody.
Oh.
And I love that. So they all came with a $100 bill, and so she had no idea, and she walked away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so look on Facebook, Jordan Talley, look up under Jordan's name, and you'll see the whole, he's in that picture. And so it's really, really cool. I just love that.
That is really cool they did that.
Mm-hmm. And, it's one of those things that it's usually, they weren't worried about it was the right person. They knew it would be the right person that needed it, so I thought that was just great. And again, people not doing it for any kind of, pat on the back or to be recognized. Right. They were just doing it because they wanted to bless somebody that they trusted that needed it. So I thought that was really cool. And I we haven't heard this year. Usually there's always a report of the Santa getting $100 bills in the pots.
Yes,
the
for the
Salvation Army. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't heard that yet.
I haven't heard that either.
There's still some time, right? Don't forget a Santa. So that was another thing. We had a great time at the expo. We had a Santa Claus there. And he was super nice. Yes. And we had the Grinch and several of the different mascots from different businesses. So that was a lot of fun to just get. We usually have the expo, and we'll probably go back to October, quite frankly, just for the programming of the chamber. October works better. But for the fun of getting to do a Christmas event, it was a good time. So we took advantage and decorated in Christmas trees and red and green and things like that. So that was a good time. But we have basically. We do the expo usually in October, and then we have the annual meeting for the chamber will be in January. It's January 13th. And so so the chamber has a board of directors. There are 20. I'm actually a non-voting member of the board, so including myself, there are 20. And so those people that have already been selected to serve will be installed as the 2022 board of directors for the chamber on January 13th at the Colonnade. Okay. So we do a brunch there. You'll get the notice that I like bacon. I sound like James Howard on 92.3. But so that we do the brunch. So we started that. This will be our third year, and everybody's something a little different, and. So that was good. We'll be doing that, and then we'll install the board of directors that day, and then we'll have the gala March the 12th. We added then we've actually moved the golf tournament that we normally do. Okay. So it'll be at Winston again, but we're leaving it in May. We used to do that in August, and if you think about August, it is literally 4 years ago, it was the hottest day of the year, and I was just praying nobody keeled over. I'm like, that would not be that good publicity, right? So, but anyway, so the committee, because we do a lot of things. You've been on a lot of committees, I know. And we appreciate that. So the golf committee chose to move that to May last year, and it worked out well. So we're looking to do that again. And then I don't know if you knew that this was a new event for us last year. Was our Run White and Blue? It was a 5K.
I saw that. Yes.
So we're going to do that again. As far as I know, everything that I've heard, the Catoosa County government will be doing the fireworks display again. I think the date, the Saturday is July the 2nd is how the date falls. I think the 4th is on a Monday.
Yes, it is.
So it'll still be that Saturday, and It'll be a little bit different this year because they've started. This is good news. They've started the construction on the College and Career Academy.
Oh, okay, they have.
So there's a construction trailer out there now, and they've started doing some digging and things like that. So that's usually where a lot of people have either booths or parking and things. So that'll have to change the setup a little bit of the fireworks display and things. But I'm sure there's a plan. The Catoosa County government has a plan probably for that. But that morning of the 2nd, the Chamber will have our 2nd annual Run White and Blue 5K and 1 mile fun run.
Okay.
And we had 187 people our first year between both the 5K and the fun run. And so it was just a great fun event. It wasn't. I was worried that it'd be too hot being in July, but we're finished by 9 o'clock.
Right.
And so it was cool enough in that morning, and we had plenty of Gatorades and waters and everything's just in case. But and kind of the 1 mile fun run is just in the loop there at the Benton Place campus, kind of on the road. The 5K actually goes out of the Benton Place campus onto Old Mill Road down toward Battlefield Parkway.
Okay.
And then right onto Battlefield Parkway, left onto Pine Grove, and then back. And that does the 3 whatever for the 5K, the actual mileage is that. So we're looking forward to having that again. And and I think that's a great community event. We hope to grow that this year so that it's more of a destination for people, so that they'll come and stay overnight and sleep in our hotel beds and eat at our restaurants and shop in our retail locations. So, we're really looking to make that a tourism event for 2022. So if any of you have any resources out there and want to be a part, maybe you're a big runner and would like to be a part of that, let me know. 706-965-5201. And we're always looking for helpers with that. We've got some great community chamber members that have done other races, so they knew how to do it all, and all the timing companies. And that's the other thing. The Run White and Blue is timed, so it's a legitimate race. Is
it with the Chattanooga Track Club?
Well, last year it wasn't, but this year we hope it to be. Yes.
Okay.
So we got in a little bit too late to get it in on their calendar.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to change that for 2022 and grow that event. So, listen, we're going to take another little break, and we'll be back in a little while. We may have a little music from William. I think y'all have heard him before, so we'll see if he can tickle the ivories for us for just a little bit.
Hey friends, it's your pals at Lucky IQ, and from our family to yours, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas!
You know, it is the holiday season, and being Christmas time, I know you've heard Suzanne and I talk a lot today. So we wanted to give you a few minutes of something Christmassy and pretty. So William Walton is going to tickle the ivories for us a little bit and give us a piano solo. So this is, I'll be honest, this is nothing Suzanne and I could ever do. But we appreciate that he can. So
Yes.
William, here it goes.
Get to run out to the
Hey,
piano.
the man of many talents right here. He makes us look good, and here he goes, entertaining us as well. What are you playing today, William?
Well, let me figure out what I'm going to play. And let me run back in there because we got some feedback.
Uh-oh, we don't want feedback. So remember this holiday season to shop local. Fort Oglethorpe, Ringgold, we have lots of shops. If you don't know exactly what you want to get someone, a gift card is always a good choice. And that supports the businesses as well. So, okay, now William's go.
All right.
Now we're ready.
got plenty.
All right, one more.
One more? Okay.
That was awesome. I didn't know you were singing too. That was great.
Let's see.
It's good to know talented people, I'm just saying.
We'll do this one. I'll get this one right.
That's okay. Hey, that's better than I could have ever done, and it was great, especially impromptu. We didn't even give you much time to prepare, so that was awesome.
What time is it?
Let's see, we've got 4:51. We wanted to talk a little bit more about local business, and then maybe you can end this. Can we do that?
All right.
All right, we'll take about 4 more minutes, then you can sing us out. How about that? All right, we're back. So William did a great job, and that, I didn't even know he was going to sing. That was amazing. So hey, there's nothing like having a personal concert. So again, I appreciate you being here. Suzanne Shavanik, our member of the week with North Georgia Healthcare, and Suzanne, I know with another organization before this, you've been with the Chamber for many years.
Yes.
Maybe longer than me. So I just wanted to say, I appreciate your membership, but can you tell us a little bit about what the Chamber has meant for you, coming from a nonprofit background, and kind of, what you've done with the Chamber membership, and why somebody might want to join the Chamber?
Well, first I just want to promote the Chamber leadership group, because I've lived here my whole life. I tell people all the time that my daughter was the 4th generation of my family to graduate Ringgold High School. So we've been here a long time.
Yeah.
And just going through that, I was kind of forced into that leadership class, because I was like, I don't have time to do that, give up a day a month. But I will tell you that day a month that I gave up paid big dividends. And the organization I was with before, we worked with children. And I just developed so many friendships through that leadership class. It got me involved in being on some of those planning committees where I met more people, and it really opened the doors for that organization.
That's awesome.
When I was a leader there for 10 years. And so there's just so much value in the relationships. I think that we all can agree that it's not so much about, what you're selling, but who's selling it sometimes. And so I just think that I still have those relationships back from, I think I was in there 2013 or 2014.
It's so fun to watch. So what we've talked about Leadership Catoosa before. It's a 9-month program that the Chamber does. We usually kick it off in September. We do now an overnight retreat. Did you do that?
Yes.
Overnight at the Wind Shape Retreat at Berry College, and then it ends in May with the graduation in June. And it's so fun to see these 15 to 20 people that most of them have never laid eyes on each other before.
At my class.
And after that overnight retreat, that's the Wind Shape Teams group does such a good job at building that team to initially, but then the meetings each month, and then working on the community service project usually builds a lot of communication and relationships and all there as well. That like you say, you'll have those contacts for forever at that point. So
to me, the Chamber was just an entity out there that did stuff, and so once I actually went to that leadership class, it just changed my whole perspective about what the leadership really does for you, and how it's not just about going in there and talking about your business and what you do, but it almost becomes a family. So just being part of one of the leads groups the Chamber has, that's just been unreal. It's not just about things we can do for each other business wise, but it's personal things that we support each other through sicknesses and different things like that. So I always kind of describe my leads group as like I was going to a Sunday school class, as just a group of people who just really
they care,
and they're just out there trying to make a living, and you come together just to support each other. And so I just think that's what makes the Chamber so awesome. And you had big shoes to fill when Martha left.
Absolutely.
But you've just come right on in, Amy, and you've done a really good job, and just kept it flowing, and just keeps building and building. And so you've just done a really good job.
And again, with the Chamber, we have a great team. Mary and Shirley and Debbie, and now Bobby Daniels is on board. Amazing, but we couldn't do all the things that we do without the Chamber committees and volunteers that we have. So, but we expect you to make it work for your business. So when we do Member of the Week, or we do different events, we expect you to represent your business or your nonprofit or your entity at those events. But it all works out. It just you don't even have to be. You're intentional, but you don't have to be over the top about it. It just people want to know what you're doing when you're there. So. So how can they work together and support you? That's the fun part. I just love it.
So if you're not a part of the Chamber locally, you're missing out on a lot of, opportunities, but also a lot of really good friendships.
They're just nice people.
And just getting to know your community and get involved. And just Catoosa County government has done a huge job with their recreational department too.
Yes.
Just building things for families to do local and not having to go outside and hunt those things. We have so many beautiful natural things in our community.
There is actually one thing we didn't mention yet, but down in Wood Station, they're having a movie night. I believe it's Christmas Eve. Look on the Parks and Rec website. I know Liz Bill By is a Chamber member, and they're sponsoring that. And that's the cool thing I see, a lot of times is small business has the opportunity to promote things and support things for an affordable rate. Whereas if some things are so expensive that a small business just can't afford to do that and get promotion for themselves and help the community at the same time. But with Parks and Rec, they just do such a great job at making that something that small business can't afford.
And it's just been beautiful to watch the Chamber and our government just really come together to make big things happen. So that's just real encouraging, especially from somebody who's been here my whole life.
You've seen all different sides of that.
All kinds of stuff, and it's just where we are today. Just having our family come in from out of town, they just, they consider wanting to move here because of all the stuff we have going on, and it hasn't always been that way.
Right.
But just being part of the Chamber gets you exposure to a lot of things that you wouldn't know out there. So
that's great.
We thank you for your leadership with that, Amy.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. And y'all just have a Merry Christmas. William, have you got another song for us? Or can you come back and do one more?
Yeah, I can do one more.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas. Debbie will be here with you next week. And y'all just have an amazing Christmas week and the New Year's.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in white.
That's awesome. Soon it will be Christmas Day, so shop local and spend big. Merry Christmas.